All right, guys, today on the channel, I've got the HeyBike Mars 3.0. This is a foldable bike made by HeyBike. It's got a ton of power and the top speed is actually pretty surprising. You guys are gonna wanna stick around because we're gonna be weighing this bike, going over all the specs and details, and we're also gonna put it through my standardized road test to see if this bike is actually worth the money. Let's go ahead. Let's start off with the pedal assist test to see exactly what kind of speed this bike can actually hit. All right, we're out here on the HeyBike Mars 3.0. This is their third iteration of this bike, and this is the newest and most improved version. And we're gonna test this on the pedal assist level. Now, I did go into the app and I limited the throttle to be what the pedal assist is. So you have the option to be able to go full throttle with this, or you have the option to limit it based off of the actual pedal assist. And that's actually what I prefer. When I'm in pedal assist 1, I want the throttle to be just as limited as the pedaling is on top speed. So for pedal assist 1 or eco mode, I'm getting upwards of 8 miles an hour. All right, for tour, or what's also known as pedal assist 2, we're looking at 16 miles an hour, 17. Wow. Okay, we're going to keep going. 18, 20. Well, my pedal assist is not limited. I am ghost pedaling at this point on tour mode, going 26, 27. Okay, we're just cruising here. Let's put it into the next pedal assist level. Just standard mode. So we're gonna do this test a little bit different because it's not limiting it. Wow, sport mode. I'm at 30 miles an hour according to the display. Woo, we're cruising. Turbo, how can this go any faster? 31.6. Wow. Okay. Turn on my turn signal so we can turn right here. So there is kind of a limit in the pedal assist. Eco went about 7 to 8 miles an hour, and then Tour went all the way up to like 27. There was a drastic jump. Now, I did download the app and sync it up to this, and I do have limits set for each pedal assist level. So a little bit surprised at how fast this bike actually got going up on tour. But then once we hit sport and then turbo, we were hitting upwards of 30 to almost 32 miles an hour. That is a fast bike. So if you're wanting to commute around town, this bike is very quick. However, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of variance between the pedal assist levels, so just take note of that. And also, this does feel a lot like a cadence sensor. I'll confirm right here whether this is a torque or a cadence sensor. But as I got upwards of about 24 miles an hour, I did experience some ghost pedaling, which we see that a lot when it comes to like a 7-speed. However, this is an 8-speed, and I kind of was hoping that when I got to 28, that's where I would start to experience it, or maybe not even experience it at all. But did experience some ghost pedaling around 24 miles an hour, so just take note of that. And as I'm pedaling here, just to give you kind of a note, it is a very fast accelerating, but it wasn't very harsh, and I just had this on turbo mode, so not too bad of an acceleration when it comes to how this is going to react. We're going to pedal really lightly here, so this makes me think that this is actually acting like a torque sensor, and then acting as if it's a cadence sensor as we get up a little bit higher. You know, I've seen this with a couple other models where you get the feeling of a torque sensor, which is what it's doing now, which is what I prefer when it comes to riding a bike around with other people, because I want to be able to lightly pedal like this and not just take off in a super fast way when I'm in turbo. I'm currently in turbo, lightly pedaling, And as you can see, I'm going 8 miles an hour, but I'm still pedaling. This is a nice casual thing. I really like this about this sensor. And then whenever I get up to these higher speeds or I want to get going, it just kicks in. And as I start to ghost pedal, it keeps accelerating without pressure on the pedals, just me turning them over. This is kind of a newer experience with pedal sensors to me, because usually whenever you have a torque sensor, it's a torque sensor all the way, where you have to be applying pressure to the pedals in order for it to actually produce more power. But it seems like this particular torque sensor, as I lightly pedal through lower speeds, it does maintain that lower speed. And then whenever I get up to those higher speeds where I can't actually put pressure on the pedals, it continues to give me more power, knowing that I want to go even faster. So a very interesting kind of a hybrid torque and cadence sensor feel to this particular setup. Let's talk about the price on this bike. So this particular bike comes in right around $1,299. For everything that you're getting on this bike, it does seem to be in the price category of what I've seen other brands. I would say this bike competes pretty heavily with the electric XP4. And whenever you get into the 750 watt version of that particular bike, we're in the same price range. So you are going to get some folding features on this bike, which is really nice. And this particular motor can reach maximum power of about 1400 watts, which is super, super impressive. And also, you're going to get a full suspension on this bike. So you're going to get this nice full suspension down here with some fat tires, and you get a suspension up front. Now, the suspension up front is a little bit noisy, and sometimes we find that to be the case with just a standard spring or coil style fork. It does the job, it smooths out the road, but you can hear it kind of release and compress a little bit, but that's not the end of the world. That's pretty standard with a coil suspension. But with everything that you do get a nice display. This display is a fairly new display to HeyBike from what I can tell. I haven't ever seen this one before. It's got a USB port on the bottom, and then also you get some NFC tags, so you can actually unlock this bike with the NFC tags. With putting a password on here and using those tags, it allows you to easily go up, unlock the bike, get on it, and get going. Not only that, you can power this bike on and off with the app, and I really do appreciate that. One other cool thing about this bike is that you actually need the key to be able to turn it on. So the key goes down here on the bottom, which is a unique place to have it, but that key locks in, and then whenever you turn it, it allows the power to go into the controller from the battery and then power this on. This is something that I've asked for from a lot of bikes, and we haven't ever seen it. And most of the brands, they just typically allow that key to pop the battery in and out. I've always wanted the key to be able to power the bike on and off. So whenever I take the key out, somebody who comes up and tries to steal the bike, they can't turn it on regardless. They need that key to do it. So I do really like that. Now we are looking at about a 65-mile range on this, and it does have a 750 watt nominal power motor. And like I said, that peaks out at upwards of 1400 watts. And we really saw that power when it came to the top speed. I think this bike is going to be a beast when it comes to the hill climb, but the next thing that we have to test is the braking ability. And these particular brakes, they do run mineral oil. There is no branding on these brakes whatsoever. 2-piston hydraulic brakes. You've got a 180 mil rotor, both front and back. So I think we're ready to go ahead and try the brake challenge. What I do in the brake challenge is I try to get up to speed of about 20 miles an hour before I hit the designated braking area. And then I will show you guys where I normally see the average bike stop and see if this bike either beats it or falls within that category. All right, let's go ahead. Let's do some throttle and get this thing going. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. We're just going to use throttle on this. And 20. Okay, it did actually really good. This is impressive, guys. I didn't hear any skidding, And really, honestly, I think I could probably brake even harder if I tried a little bit more. Thing is with this is normally all the braking that I do usually is right around in this area right here. And the front wheel fell just barely over this line. We're about right here, middle of the wheel. So the HeyBike Mars actually did a better braking job than what I've seen on other brands. This is pretty impressive. I didn't expect it to stop this fast because the bike is a little bit heavier when it comes to a folding style bike. They like to make their frames a little bit beefier, which may help with longevity, but it also adds just a tiny bit of weight. But these Cho-Yang tires and these no-name hydraulic brakes that look a heck of a lot like Tektro stop this bike really fast. So impressed with the stopping ability on this bike so far, and these brakes are brand new. The more I use these brakes, the better this braking is actually going to get. So very, very impressed with that. Let's go ahead, let's head over and let's do the 0 to 20 test. And then we're also going to do a sensor switch test where we switch between the pedaling and the throttle. Let's go ahead, let's head over. Okay, real quick, we're going to switch between throttle to pedaling and then pedaling to throttle to see how quickly the sensors actually pick up on each other. We're gonna get this thing going, throttle, 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 start pedaling. Oh, instant, instant. And then throttle. Oh, just like a 1/10 of a second delay. Wow. That, honestly, guys, that was probably the fastest switch between throttle and pedal that I've actually ever seen. So that was really nice. And the big reason why I like to go from throttle to pedal is primarily the situation that I find myself in, and that's where I am in an intersection and I just want to get through it and then I want to start pedaling. And with the throttle going, I can throttle through the intersection and then start pedaling. And I want that pedaling to pick up really quick. And this one did a really, really good job. Super impressed with that. Let's go ahead, let's head over to the big hill and see how quickly this thing can climb the big hill with both pedal assist and throttle. I think it's gonna do pretty good. Now, one thing while we're heading over to the 0 to 20 test, there is a nice watt meter on here. I really like to see that. It's not something that you're gonna look at a lot, but it is something that it's just nice to see. It's kind of fun every once in a while to see how many watts the motor's putting out. Just kind of gives you an idea of like how much power this bad boy is actually giving you. Okay, so I've got this in the hardest gear, which is the way that I test this. We're gonna do 0 to 20, and we're gonna start with pedal assist, and then we're gonna switch over to throttle and see how quickly it does. My fastest bikes do it around 6 seconds, and my slowest bikes do it around 10 to 11 seconds. So if we fall in between that, we're gonna be about average. But if we beat those times, then this could be the fastest bike or the slowest bike. We're gonna have to see. I have a feeling this bike is going to be very quick. Get the pedals ready, and here we go, 0 to 20 with pedal assist in 3, 2, 1, go. And it kicks in so fast. And 20. Wow. Guys, that might have been the fastest one yet. We're gonna go ahead and let's do the same test, but with throttle. I don't know that it's gonna be as fast with throttle. That was really quick with pedal assist and how quickly it engaged, but here we go. Full power turbo mode in 3, 2, 1, go. Gets right on the power. Very, very nice. And 20. Wow. Guys, this bike is surprisingly quick. It's a little beast. I mean, it's not joking around. Now, you may like that and you may not like that. It all depends. If you want something that has a beastly amount of power in turbo mode, this seems to be fitting the bill. But we also know that whenever we put it in eco mode, we can go a little bit slower. And we also know that this sensor allows us to lightly pedal and kind of maintain a slower speed where we're not going so crazy with it and accelerating at an extremely high rate. Now, I do want to go over a couple of the components here, and then we're going to take this into the garage here later and kind of talk a little bit more about everything that's on this bike. Now you can get this bike in several different colors. It is a folding bike, and I'll show you guys how to fold it here in just a second. You do get this nice rear rack with a rear tail light that has turn signals both front and back. So you also have your front headlight with a built-in horn. Now the turn signals, they do not show up on the screen. And that's funny because I've had my turn signal on this entire ride that I've been doing it, because I had no idea that I had my turn signal on because I don't have any indicator on the screen telling me. So that's one thing that I would recommend that HeyBike actually implement, is a indicator on the screen to let you know that your turn signal's on, or maybe an auto off, which with this one, it's an actual switch, not a button. So I don't know how they would do that, but you do get them. So the turn signals are nice. The grips are a little lackluster, if I'm going to be honest with you. They feel really plasticky, kind of a cheaper grip, but those can be replaced. However, this throttle portion here, I don't think that can be replaced, and it matches what the grips are. They're not terrible, but they're not as premium as what I've seen on other brands that come in around this same price point. You do get a pretty decent sized chain ring down here. However, we did notice ghost pedaling around 24 miles an hour. These 20-inch by 4-inch wide tires, they're the Cho Yang, pretty standard tire, really reliable tire. I've seen these on a lot of brands out there. The wheels are kind of unique on this, where they have cutout reliefs for the actual inner tube. Now, what that really is doing is it's just shaving down the weight on these wheels just a little bit. You're not actually getting any kind of other benefit from it. So making the wheels a little bit lighter than what they would be if there was material actually in that area. You do also get some plastic fenders, some pretty basic fenders, but they do the job really well, keeping you from getting debris and water and stuff like that splashed up on you. But overall, this bike feels pretty comfortable going down the road. The rear suspension seems to be working really well. And also the front suspension, like I said earlier, you can kind of hear it a little bit, but it does smooth out the bumps in the road. Let's go ahead, let's head over to the hill and test this thing out to see how well it actually climbs. All right, while we're heading over the hill, let's just test the max speed of the throttle. One thing I do have to say about the throttle is it's really variable. I can easily like barely turn it and it'll kind of get me going. And there's a lot of variability in it, which I really appreciate. I'm going 33 miles an hour. I just came down from a little bit of a hill. So we're leveling off. 31 and a half is what it looks like it's doing. So right about 32 miles an hour is what this display actually shows, which is incredibly quick. If you're commuting through town, you're going to be keeping up with the traffic, which is pretty nice. So we're over here at the big hill. We're going to give this a shot and see what this bike will do, both throttle and pedal assist. Okay, here we go. Pedal assist up the hill to see how fast it'll go in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so you're going to hear my voice from the pedal assist video. And we're going to get her up to speed as best we can, especially before we start to shift. 25.5 miles an hour is what I saw before we hit the hill. Now we're running about probably 5 to 8% right here, quickly getting up to about 12 to 15%. And at this driveway up here is where you'll see it hit 19%, which is what pushes these motors. We're at 19 miles an hour, hitting 1,154 watts is what I'm peaking out at. 14 miles an hour, holding at 14. All right, and we're starting to go up 15, 16, and that's the hill climb. So it did really good going up that hill. Never saw it hit that peak wattage that they're showing on their website, which, just to confirm, I thought it was 1,400, but here's what it shows on their website. And you may be hitting that. It just might not be displaying that, is possibly the thing. But either way, we made it up the hill above that 10 mile an hour like minimum that I consider a good hill climber. So this bike is definitely a good hill climber, plenty of power. So starting with this video, I'm going to be weighing every single e-bike so you guys can know the exact weight with the battery and everything that comes with it on the bike. This is my Feedback Sports Stand. This is the Pro E Lift, and also my Feedback Sports Scale. This scale can weigh up to a 110-pound bike. So pretty much most of my e-bikes that I get on this channel should be able to be weighed by this particular scale. All right, let's go ahead. Let's raise this sucker up and see exactly how much this weighs. We need to get both tires off the ground. There we go. Both tires off the ground. We're showing 71 pounds, 11 ounces. So that's how much it weighs with the battery and all the accessories that it comes with. Now, one thing HeyBike wanted me to let you guys know about is that they have over 300 retail partners. So not only are they available online, you can find them in some local bike shops, possibly near you. Okay, taking a look at the display here, you are going to get your speed displayed right here in the middle. Your pedal assist is going to show down here. So whenever we raise this up, you'll see that it changes color and it also changes mode right there. You've got turbo, sport, standard, tour, and eco, and then off. Now your miles that you've actually ridden are right here. If we tap through the power button, you've got a tripometer, you've got a voltage meter, you've got your time that the bike has been on, you've got your average speed, your max speed, and then back to your odometer. And then you have your actual power output right here. I do like to see this, that way I can kind of tell if I'm pushing out a lot of power or not. You've got your actual voltage right here. And then up top here, you've got a battery indicator. So when you first go in here, it's going to be on your display settings. You're going to have your system units. That's going to be miles per hour or kilometer. Your brightness setting, you have 5 different levels. I've got it on 1 right now just because it's easier to film with. You have your auto off timer. You have your auto lamp. So basically, if it senses that it's getting dark out, it'll turn your headlight and your tail light on for you. And then down here, you've got your battery indicator voltage, or you can actually change this to off or a percentage. So if you want to actually display the percentage back on your menu, you can. Let's check that out. So now that we've changed that to percentage, our voltage is gone and we do have a percent there. Those are all the display settings. If we want to get over here to the basic settings, we just tap the power button. It'll go right into it. The first thing you're going to see is your wheel diameter. This is something I wouldn't change. Same with the battery, it's 48 volts. And then your low battery is going to be 41 volts. So if you get down to 41 volts, that's going to be a very low power and you're almost out of power, I guess is what that means. You got your password settings there. You can go in and change that if you want. Then you've got some advanced settings. You can factory reset if you get this thing changed and you're not really sure how to get it back. And then you just have some basic information about the bike. Let's go into the advanced settings. Here is where you can actually set a ton of different things. You've got your speed limit. It doesn't look like it changes from miles per hour. It goes into kilometers. I just set it on 70 because I know it can't get anywhere close to that, but that's the setting I put it on. You've got your current limit. I just leave that at 30 amps. Your walk assist at 6 kilometers an hour. I just left that at yes. I've got 5 pedal assist levels. I believe you can go down to 3. This is something I wouldn't change, the poles and the motor. And so on your start mode, you're going to have 2 different settings, 0 and non-zero. If you have it on 0, you can use your throttle from basically 0 miles an hour. If you have it on non-zero, you have to be moving in order for your throttle to actually work. I just leave it on 0 because I like to be able to start my throttle at intersections without having to move at all. The next one down is going to be your drive mode. If you have it on 2, like what I've got here, it'll allow you to use the pedal assist and the throttle. If you have it on 1, it'll be throttle only. And if you have it on 0, it'll be pedal assist only. So I always just keep it on 2. That way I can use both throttle or pedal assist whenever I want. The PAS disc is the next one in the setting. It's got 12. That's going to be basically the number of magnets. I wouldn't change that. Just leave that where that's at. The start sensitivity is going to be adjusting the delay of the motor's assistance after pedaling. So basically, you can go from 1 to 24, with 24 being the longest delay and 1 being the shortest. So as soon as you start pedaling, this thing is going to really kick in. And that's what we noticed on our ride, is how quickly this pedal assist was on this bike. And it's because we have it set to 3. We could actually take it down to 1 and it would be even faster at picking up our pedal assist. And the next one is going to be your start strength. This is basically going to adjust the initial power. So if you feel like this bike takes off way too quick, you can adjust this from 0 to 5 and get it to either react slower or faster, all depending on your type of riding style. And so that is all of the menu system. And then to exit, you just simply scroll down to exit and tap the power button. Okay guys, let's go ahead and let's check out the HeyBike app. This is pretty basic, but you do get some extra settings in here. You can slide to turn on or off the bike. I really like this because that means that it's connected whenever you power up this app, and you can turn your bike on and off from it. You can also turn on and off the headlight. Once you have the bike on, you can turn the headlight on and off, which is very nice. And then you can go into some additional settings, but you can also track your ride on this app. It's got a ride tracking app. So looking in the personalized section of the app, you're going to be able to set your unit types, so kilometers or miles per hour. You're also going to be able to set the user top speed. So you can actually set this up for different users. So one setting that I really like in here is the throttle speed limiter. If you have this on, it's going to match whatever your pedal assist level is. If you have it off, it's just going to be able to go upwards of 28 miles an hour. Or in our case, we saw it go over 30 miles an hour on our test. Here you can change your number of pedal assist levels. And then also you can set how fast each pedal assist level goes. And then lastly, you do have a firmware update, which I really like because they can do improvements on this bike as users start using them, and they can push those updates out to the user over the air via the app. So there you go, guys. That's the HeyBike Mars 3.0. I think this bike is a pretty sweet bike, and I absolutely love this blue color. This bike folds, it's got full suspension, and it goes super fast. If this is a bike that you guys are interested in, definitely check out my links down below. If you use those links, I would greatly appreciate it. It's going to get you the lowest price possible from HeyBike's website, and it also is going to come back and help out this channel at no additional cost to you. All right, guys, if you're enjoying my content and you're liking these reviews, you're definitely going to want to click that subscribe button if you already haven't. Click the bell so you don't miss any of my videos, and leave me a comment and let me know what bike you want to see next and what you think of this bike right here. All right, guys, hit the like button and get out there and ride your e-bike.